Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's a matter of great honor, personal privilege for me to be able to stand before so august a gathering and to make a few remarks of welcome. Let me begin with what I consider most important in life, and that is gratitude. Because far too often we are not as grateful as we should be. Gratitude for the gift of life itself, because we can take this so for granted. Gratitude to the Creator for the gift of co-creation, because we were not called to be co-creators with God, moving creation towards His perfection. We would not have the good fortune of being able to work together to build something that is better than what we met. And that is a commitment to which I feel the purpose of life belongs, the commitment to leave the world better than we met it. Gratitude to the people who have worked tirelessly to make this event happen. These events, when they come and they go, seem so easy, but it takes a lot of work. In fact, a full year's work to put these events together. So many volunteers in this process, I cannot name them, far too many to begin to name, who have given so much of themselves to make this happen. Our gratitude knows no bounds to them. I think it's also important in showing gratitude to these people to recognize that at a time when public culture has sadly become one of me, myself, and I, when this narcissism seems to consume us, and we forget that what it is to be African is to recognize that I am because we are. And so the common good is fundamental to our Africanness. And a change of culture to embracing that means so much to us. So we're so grateful to all of those who put in so much to make this happen. Gratitude to those who've pulled off extraordinarily busy schedules to come and help our understanding. It's appropriate to begin with President Obasanjo. I have been on his case for a while to help solve my poverty problem, but he has refused to cooperate. I have told him that that thing that he drinks that allows him to be able, I saw him a week ago. Since I saw him, I think he's been around Africa twice and he's here. He has to now publicly, I'm making a claim of this in public, that he should show me that mixture because I want to market it. That will solve my poverty problem. We are enormously grateful to him, to Dr. Kande Yumkela, who will hear introduced later, a very, very dear friend. Sometimes we forget some things. He will be introduced in many ways, but the way that I like to introduce him is that in the year 2000, we thought that the public sphere should get a boost in Nigeria to increase the quality of public conversation. I refer very often to the German philosopher Jürgen Habermas and the public sphere. The modernity, democracy is really about the public sphere and the quality of public conversation. In the year 2000, I thought that we should give a boost to the public sphere in Nigeria with the marketplace of ideas. And I pulled together a number of gentlemen, a couple of who were multinational company chief executives, a couple of whom were media enterprise chief executives like John Momo, my late good friend, who was at the time managing director of the Daily Times of Nigeria, who sadly passed in that accident a year or two ago. And a couple of younger rascals, and that conversation was called Patito's Gang. And Dr. Kande Yumkela, who at the time was Director General, before he became Director General of UNIDO, was country representative. And we managed to get him as a foreign component of the original Patito's Gang. We're glad to have him with us today, and he's taking this trouble, particularly given the fact that he's candidate for president in Sierra Leone in elections that are just a few weeks away, next month. We really are grateful for the time that he has taken to come here. A word or two about the Center for Values in Leadership. The Center for Values in Leadership has a commitment, an enduring commitment to shaping the next generation of Nigerians so that they will be value-based leaders. And we try to walk that path in so many different ways. We're very active in Lagos in the many, many programs that we're on. We are active in some parts of Ogun State in some of our programs. We are very, very active in Delta State, where in the last couple of months, about a year, we've been putting about 400 young people through a long process of entrepreneurship development and hope to support them along to become entrepreneurs and make a difference in the world that they go into. We have just entered into an agreement with the Art of Living Foundation in India. The Art of Living Foundation is a global organization, and last year's meeting, some of us who were here when the governor of Lagos State and Professor Paul Collier spoke to the challenge of leadership, cities, and growth, will recall that somebody from the Art of Living Foundation gave a short talk that was remarkably well received. Indeed, in my own small efforts to imitate President Obasanjo by wandering around places, I actually arrived from Sydney in Australia into Delhi in March of 2016. And President Obasanjo was one of the speakers at the Art of Living Foundation Global Leadership World Culture Forum. We have gone into partnership with them to do a number of things, like build institutions for vocational education for poor people, and we're starting with one in Delta State. And we have been working with them, and they are globally reputed for work in conflict resolution, in bringing peace to countries where there has been a lot of turmoil. We hope that we can deploy their strengths in helping build for good. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this year we are focusing on something that is very, very dear to my heart and soul: leadership in Africa and Africa's economic competitiveness. When we started out trying to create the program for today, nearly a year ago, what we thought we should do was get a number of former African heads of state. And then we were helped along by a video that many of you may have seen that went viral, of Presidents Obasanjo, Mbeki, former President of Tanzania, Nkagba, at an AU meeting, trying to respond to the question of why did we fail? Why is Africa not economically competitive? So we thought we should ask them all to come and share with us their experience so that we can learn. Now, a very dear friend of ours who is a powerful political leader in Nigeria, when I told him that this is what we're trying to do, he said, don't mind all those people, they cause the trouble. Bring young people to come and tell us. I said, oh, Kande Yumkela is coming here. He's aspiring. Leave those people who have aspired and expired. I will not mention his name. He's a very powerful politician in Nigeria. But we are grateful today that we have the presence of President Obasanjo, and we have the aspiring of a globally prepared African leader like Dr. Kande Yumkela, and we can get a mix of this in the conversation, which we will have later. And we have experts who will then sit and reflect on these as we go forward. So So I thank you so very much for coming today and doing this honor to CVL, to my wife and myself. I've been told many times that God really knows what he is doing. Because if he hadn't given me the kind of wife he has given me, I would have been a hopeless and lost case. I thank God for that, and I thank you for coming.